in the morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. We start the day taking a look at some of those rainfall totals from those overnight showers and storms. Some nasty storms rolled through. Power outages in parts of central Illinois. Heard about a few tornadoes here and there. It was a wild night of weather. Hopefully, wherever you are, you made it through it just fine. About a half an inch of rain in the northeast corner of DeWitt County over in the Farmer City area. We shift to the west, Lincoln, an inch and a tenth over in Lincoln. My mom last night texted me that she lost power at her place over there in Lincoln. So it was a wicked night of rain over in the Lincoln area, just north of Mount Pulaski in the southeast corner of more eastern Logan County. About 0.8 of an inch of rain. About 0.4 of an inch of rain in Warrensburg. A half an inch of rain where Logan, Macon, and Sangamon counties meet. Let's see if there's any other reports to pass along this morning. Interesting, Bloomington Normal on the west side, about 0.3 of an inch of rain. East side of Bloomington Normal on the other side of Veterans Parkway, about 0.6 of an inch of rain. And then 0.8 of an inch of rain in the Towanda Barnes Road area of southeast Bloomington Normal, almost to Downs in McLean County. Just north of Bellflower on 54, southeast McLean County, an inch and a tenth of rainfall reported there. That's all the reports out of McLean County for this morning. 0.6 of an inch of rain in Champaign, 2/3 of an inch of rain in the Mahomet area of Champaign yesterday. Only 1/4 of an inch of rain in St. Joseph yesterday, then 0.6 of an inch of rain in the Sidney area of southeast Champaign County. Other notable reports of rain, about 1 1/3 inches in Shelbyville in Shelby County, 1 inch of rain in the northern Macoupin County in the Girard area of Macon County. Let's see other reports in the area. 0.6 of an inch of rain in Metamora in western Woodford County, near the Illinois River in Woodford County. About 0.8 of an inch of rain in far western Woodford County. Almost 1 inch of rain north of Dunlap in Peoria County from yesterday as well. And near the state line north of Milford, about 1 inch of rainfall reported there in southeast Iroquois County from yesterday. So a lot of rain fell in central Illinois. We'll try to keep you up to date as more of those rainfall totals come in here throughout the morning. Far eastern Douglas County in the Newman area, over 0.8 of an inch of rainfall, where Douglas and Moultrie counties meet in Arthur, about 0.3 of an inch of rain reported there as well. So like I said, some pretty wicked storms in the area in the overnight. Again, hopefully wherever you find yourself, you made it through. I always find it interesting the day after or the morning after a wicked line of rain rolls through when it comes out and it's perfectly sunny and you would never have known rain came through. I always find that interesting. It seems to be what we have this morning. Beautiful sunny skies to start this Friday. But as always, rainfall totals courtesy of CocoRoz.org. That is the Community Collaborative Rain, Hail, and Snow Network. The National Weather Service monitors that. You can become a rain spotter for Coco Roz. Visit the website to do so. You can check out like this morning, we went back to yesterday to find those rainfall totals. If we've had a string of days with rainfall, you can do a range of days and find out a cumulative number of rainfall in your area. But again, CocoRoz.org is the place to find all that information. All right, let's get to the news on this Friday. A brief meeting of the DeWitt County Board Thursday night was highlighted by discussions on a variety of topics. If you've noticed curtailment issues with the Alta Farms 2 wind farm during severe weather events, you're not alone. DeWitt County Board member Joe Whitty called on the board to bring Enel representatives to have a discussion about its protocols during severe weather.
I know it was brought up last month even briefly about the response we got back from Enel regarding the question that we didn't want to discuss it much. They did offer in that response, they say to facilitate introductions, ensure clear communication moving forward. They'd like to propose coordinating an online meeting. I think we need to take them up on that. I don't know if all of your questions were answered or satisfactory with the responses that they sent in, but I think I still have some questions and concerns with how curtailment has been handled, especially the March 31st latest incident. Logan County still did not trigger a curtailment. So just understanding what their protocol are, what they mean by automation. Obviously, if Logan County went almost 36 minutes without curtailing before DeWitt County they finally did, something's not automated or they're ignoring that particular part of the ordinance. So I would like to take them up on the offer to have them in for some Q&A and just understand what their procedures are for. But,
didn't they also include in their feedback to us that the concerns about the lights?
They said they were fixed.
But they were,
and they're not.
But they said they were going to need to have somebody from the company that's dealing with that to explain to us what's going on.
Yeah,
and
so
they be part of that meeting.
It doesn't have to be everything in there, but if there are still some outstanding concerns, I think we get them in here and just help alleviate some of those concerns or help us gain a better understanding.
DeWitt County State's Attorney Dan Markwell gave an update to the board on the latest with the sale of the Marina. The board approved the sale of the Marina last month, and board chair Dan Matthews says they will still need to have a special meeting soon to get that agreement approved.
I'll just say a couple things about the upcoming lease. Just a couple things. I got out of court late today, so I just got to my emails and got the final approval on the short-term lease from Mr. Fahey's attorney. So I sent that to Dee, so when she gets a chance to check her email, she'll send it out to the board. A couple things just to be cognizant of. As Mr. Fahey said in his proposal, they were going to create a new corporation that will be the one both buying the property and leasing the property. So you'll see in the contract that is now known as Clinton Marina and Campground LLC. So that's the legal entity that's will be leasing as well as ultimately purchasing the property. As we talked about at the last board meeting, primarily it was more maintenance issues and making sure everything's taken care of out there. We did agree as far as the consideration, the monetary consideration for them running it in the 60-day period or until it gets sold, that he's just going to retain, Mr. Fahey will retain the profits off of the gas stock, and we've already, that's ultimately whatever's left in there he's going to get anyway with the purchase. But all that's in there. If you got any other questions, let me know. But it should be fairly self-explanatory. Basically, I took our prior contract and condensed it by several pages because we didn't need everything in there for just a 60-day lease. Dee did get this week proof of required insurance, so we'll be covered for workers' comp and liability and everything as well. Sales contract is done. His attorney has it, and so I think it's just a matter of finalizing that and getting the financing wrapped up. And once we get a closing date, I'll let you guys know when that is.
Considering that is all done, we want to get him out there as soon as we can. I'd like to look at some dates to do a special meeting, which Marina would take care of the cost to bring the board back in, make sure we have a quorum to approve that lease. So once we get it approved, so I don't know what this schedule is right now for. Are you thinking that we could do this by the middle of next week? I mean, because you have everything you need right now.
Yeah, Mr. Fahey's ready to go, so it's just a matter of as soon as the board can get it ratified on our end, they'll sign it and it'll be done.
Finally, the county is seeking to move off its agreement with its current IT provider and go with someone else. County Clerk Carrie Harris told the board they are not getting the service they once did.
Well, we used to have someone that would come here once a week. Yeah. It was always a set Tuesday, I think.
Tuesdays, yeah.
Every Tuesday we would have somebody from Jano come. And they literally stopped by every office, whether we had called and said there was something that needed to be done. They'd ask, is there anything, why we're here? And that switch, we had so many different people that did that. But then finally, the last person that did it, he's moved to California, and now he's just through email. And now they've told me, at least my office, that they're not going to be doing that anymore. They're not going to have anybody. It's just kind of on if you need us, we'll come. A lot of the times I've called them, they don't want to come. They want to try to walk us through and have us do it over the phone. And we're not IT people. So then they usually try to remote in, and if they can fix it that way, they will. But otherwise, getting somebody here has been not the easiest task.
The things that they fix don't stay fixed, unfortunately. Because I have a reoccurring problem where I look to search for a file or something, and it won't let me search for files within my own computer. And they fixed that before, and I had the problem again this week. So they remotely, they called in, and in the meantime, I shut my computer down, rebooted it, which corrected it for the moment. But yet, I still got a ticket saying that they fixed it, and I'm sure we'll get a bill for it. Even though they did nothing, and I fixed it by just rebooting my computer.
Yeah, and I had a payroll update that needed to be done for taxes towards the beginning of the year. And I also got a receipt from them by email telling me that the update had been completed after working out. And I don't know why, but I wanted just to check to make sure it had, and I was still on the old version. So I had to send a note. You used to be able to call and get a hold of somebody at their office, and now it's all automated or email, our tech support, and then they make a case, and it took days for somebody to get back in here. I was waiting on payroll to try to get these tax updates done, and finally they got done. But I had received something saying it was done, and it had not been done.
In regards to the IT contract, County Administrator Dee Rentmeister told the board they met with individuals from the city of Clinton and a few other local entities about the issue, and they too agreed it was time to move off the IT company collectively. Additionally, Harris and Rentmeister say they've been contacted by other counties in Illinois about their experience with this company, and other places are also reporting similar issues. A busy spring season for the Clinton Chamber of Commerce wraps up in another month with one of the biggest fundraisers of the year. The annual May Days Festival is May 16th through the 19th, and Chamber Director Janice Peterson is busy getting final preparations together for one of Clinton's most popular events.
Oh, we have a lot to do. We have all of our entertainment locked in, so we're good there. I can't sure the posters are going out pretty soon. So we have Lady Luck from the band from Decatur. They will be on Friday night from 7 to 10 on Mr. Lincoln's stage. Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock is Andrew's Family Magic. He was here last year, and he's amazing. I call him the Pied Piper because the kids, he went down to Sweet Maze to get ice cream after his performance, and the kids just followed him all the way down there and all the way back. So it was cute. So he'll be on the stage at 2 o'clock. Everybody's welcome. These are free concert and free shows. So everybody's welcome. And his is good for adults and kids. And then Saturday night at 7 o'clock, we have Douglas Willis, who is local, and he will be on Mr. Lincoln's stage on Saturday night.
Very good.
The carnival starts on Thursday. Wristbands will go on sale May 1st, the same locations that we had last year, and I'm going to miss somebody if I rattle them off. First National Bank, DeWitt Savings Bank, Big D's, IGA. We've got some posters getting ready to go out.
Last year, wristbands that were sold for the carnival sold out well in advance of the festival, and some in the community could not purchase them at the discounted rate. Peterson says this year they've doubled the number of wristbands they'll sell.
We sold out of wristbands last year. This year we have double the quantity that we had last year.
Yeah.
I hope I have to call them, 2 weeks before and say, I'm sold out, send me some more. It's a good problem to have. But we had some upset people last year, and we just ran out. That's just all there was to it. Sure. I encourage everybody to get them early.
Yeah,
once
definitely.
they go on sale May 1st, get them that first week if you can. Actually, on the 16th, the high school theater has their sing-off. They kind of kick us off for that. Oh. That's at 6 o'clock on the stage. We'll have opening ceremonies at 5:30 over by the flag. Carnivals start Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's Connor Family Amusements. They're pretty much local. They're out of Beardstown, I think it is. Good people to work with. We had really just a good working relationship with them.
The Chamber is seeking a nonprofit to help with ticket sales inside the ticket booths at the carnival during the festival. In years past, Second Chance for Pets has volunteered, but Peterson indicates they're unable to do so this year, so they're looking for a nonprofit to take their place.
We are looking for a group to sell tickets this year, to help sell tickets this year. If anyone has a group that they want to sell tickets, needs to be adults, can't be kids, and just let us know, give me a call at the chamber, and we will talk. What we do, obviously, we sell the coupons for the wristbands in advance. But when you're actually at May Days, you can purchase single tickets for rides, or you can purchase a wristband. For someone who doesn't purchase in advance, there's 2 ticket booths that are set up, one on each end of the carnival, basically. And then we have volunteers from last year was Second Chance that will just sell those tickets. They're kind of overseen by the carnival. There's 8 time slots, and usually it's just like 2 to 4 people per time slot.
Right.
Pretty much I had turned it over to Second Chance, and they got all the volunteers and they got everything situated. So we'll be digging that out when we're actively looking for somebody.
Follow the Chamber of Commerce on Facebook for more on May Days as it approaches. Peterson is hoping to have some new offerings this year along with traditional entertainment. And, of course, the Carnival wristbands go on sale Wednesday, May 1st. A dock on Clinton Lake was removed recently by the state of Illinois. Department of Natural Resources Conservation Police Captain John Williamson says the dock on the west side access ramp has been taken out.
So over at the west side dock, we've had issues with that dock for at least the past 5 years. And in the last 3 years, it's almost destroyed by the time we get to springtime because the ice, the wind, everything else. And it's been moved 2 or 3 times since I can remember back when I was, 15 years old, and the wind and everything just beats it up. We get a lot of complaints about it. Well, it was costing us, probably 20 to 30 grand a year just trying to fix it. Well, there's a new project going to go on, not this year, but hopefully by next fall it starts, that's going to be totally replaced down there, totally new dock, totally new launch, ADA accessible, all that sort of stuff. So that's a huge thing. But the dock was in such disrepair again, they just yanked it out of the water. So there's no dock at the west side access now. The ramp's still open, but there's no dock to unload and load people. So if that's the one you usually use, you might want to think about using another dock.
The state plans to rebuild the dock in that spot, but it will not be complete until at least next year. Captain Williamson says once it's done, it'll be nice, but in the meantime, he reminds boaters to find another ramp if you need a dock.
I've not seen the final drawings, but it looks like where the dock is, if you're familiar with it, there's a little bay right next to it. It looks like the dock's going to go over there, maybe stay out of the wind a little bit, that sort of thing. And like I say, they're going to, from my understanding, they're going to change out all how the concrete lays, everything else, and make it more ADA accessible so we can get wheelchairs there, everything else. Yeah, I think it'll probably get used more. Once that, that's, like I say, if they start next fall, would they hope to have it the next spring? So it's going to be closed down for 6 to 8 months probably. But when it gets done, it should be really nice and really improve the use. Because right now that dock at West Side, you can maybe get 2 boats up to it, and it was rickety. Now it should be really nice. It should improve the use. And I that's why I want to get the information out there so people aren't planning on using that and realizing by the time they get down there that, hey, there's no dock here anymore. So it's going to put some pressure on the other ramps because there's not going to be a place to load and unload people. People are going to want to take their nicer boats and park them on the rocks trying to get people on and off boats. So yeah, it should lighten up the use of that ramp.
The summer boating season has already begun. Captain Williamson indicates they had a very busy weekend on Clinton Lake last weekend and anticipates the nicer days having more and more boats out as we ramp up towards the big Memorial Day weekend, one of the busiest, if not the busiest, on Clinton Lake. News time, 25 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Friday. More to come on the WHOW Morning Show. News time, 26 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Friday. A French company is a step closer to bringing insect protein to the pet food and livestock food industry. The Innova Feed is doing it in Decatur. Their Innovation Center was opened Thursday, a first step to a larger facility that will be scaled up to raise black soldier flies as a protein source for food animal. Clement Ray, CEO of Innova Feed, says insects are a natural, sustainable source of protein.
To bring natural ingredients to animals, for instance, to fish, salmon, shrimps that in the wild eat insects. And that's also by developing this technology, we are providing a sustainable new ingredients.
The company is using corn byproducts from ADM to feed the insects and expects a large, full-scale operation to be up and running in 2 years. The IHSA is now in its third year of offering a state tournament series in esports. The organization's Dan Lee has been pleased with the growth in the program.
Yeah, the numbers are certainly growing. I'm a former math teacher, so numbers are kind of my thing. So I've been keeping track and looking at the data. Obviously, this is year 3 of the IHSA Esports State Series that we're preparing for. I wasn't around for year 1. Kurt Gibson from our office was overseeing that at that time. But just with the data and the numbers that I have, so going from year 1, I think IHSA started off with about 125 schools that participated in the sectional competition. Last year we were up to 157, and this year we're up to 170. So, not as much of an increase in terms of number of teams, but when we're talking about individual students, looking at the numbers right now, last year we had just over 1,600 students registered for the sectional, so 1,612, and this year we're up to 1,946. So we saw an increase of over 300 more students getting involved this year, 13 more schools. And something that also stands out to me as I look at these numbers is the increase in participation in some of the game titles that we're offering. So last year was the first year that our state series offered a Mario Kart competition, and that's a 4 versus 4 team competition that we offer. And then we also offered Super Smash Brothers Crew Battle is what we call it, and that's a 5 versus 5 team competition. So last year was the first year that we offered those games, and just looking at those numbers from last year to this year, we have 31 more Mario Kart teams that are signed up to participate this year, and we have 22 more Crew Battle teams that are signed up to participate this year. So so definitely, to go back to your question, it is certainly growing, and it's growing quickly. So we're excited about that, and looking forward to see where esports continues to go. And obviously we have some decisions to make with regards to the future state series to make sure we're accommodating this growth appropriately.
Sectionals are this weekend with the IHSA Esports States Finals on April 27th at Evergreen Park High School. News time, 29 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Friday. Coverage of news brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, and the morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance. A look at local sports comes your way next.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. Israel's military is not commenting on reports it carried out strikes on targets in Iran in retaliation for last week's Iranian drone and missile attacks on Israel. Forced from the campaign trail by the judge presiding over his criminal trial in New York, former President Trump is lamenting the current state of the nation. 12 jurors have been selected to hear the case. 5 additional alternates have yet to be chosen. More than 100 anti-Israel protesters arrested on the campus of New York's Columbia University. The Biden administration has finalized rules that would restrict new oil and gas leasing and development in portions of a federal petroleum reserve in Alaska. Watching Wall Street, stock futures in the red so far this morning. The Dow futures are down 24 points, NASDAQ futures off 27, and the S&P futures down 1 point. More details at srnnews.live.
With SRN Sports, I'm Jeremy House. In the NBA, all 4 teams in the finales of the play-in tournament tonight are dealing with injury issues. Chicago goes to Miami, and Sacramento plays at New Orleans. The winner of the Bulls Heat game meets Boston in round 1, while the Kings-Pelicans winner meets Oklahoma City. The Heat will be without Jimmy Butler and Terry Rozier for their game against the Bulls, who had guard Alex Caruso go down to a sprained ankle in Wednesday's win over Atlanta. The Pelicans will be without Zion Williamson because of a hamstring injury. In Major League Baseball and the American League, winners included Tampa Bay, Cleveland, and Texas. Just one National League game saw San Francisco shut out Arizona 5-0. The Miami-Chicago Cubs game was postponed. And in the NHL, winners were Seattle, Winnipeg, Calgary, Anaheim, Colorado, and Los Angeles. This is SRN Sports. NFL news, the 2024 draft has the potential to set a record for most players on offense selected in the first round. No draft has seen more than 19 players on offense chosen in the first round. That happened 3 times, most recently in 2009. Many draft experts are predicting over 20 offensive players will go in the first round, and some have up to 25. The AP's final mock draft had 22 going in the first round, including 10 offensive linemen, 6 wide receivers, 5 quarterbacks, and 1 tight end. In golf, Scotty Scheffler is wiped out from his emotional Masters win, but he's already back to work. He managed a 69 to trail JT Poston by 6 shots after the first round of the RBC Heritage. Poston ran off 6 birdies over 7 holes for his great start. This is SRN Sports.
Time now for a look at sports. I'm Seth Lawrence with this report. Monticello was balanced Thursday afternoon as the Sages beat the Weather and Paxton Buckley Loda 9-1 in Illini Prairie Conference baseball action Thursday in Paxton. Severe weather was in the area Thursday afternoon, but it held off long enough to get Thursday's action going as the Sages ran their win streak to 22 in a row. Matt Swartz, Colton Vance, and Jacob Long each had 2 RBIs. Swartz was 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. Vance finished 2 for 4 with a double and 2 RBIs, while Long was 2 for 4 with a triple. And his 2 RBIs, Coy Williams doubled, finishing 2 for 3, while Russ Brown drove in a run with a pinch hit double. Brody Bilodeau went 2 1/3 shutout innings with 3 strikeouts and allowed a hit and a walk. Ike Young went 2 2/3 shutout innings with 4 strikeouts and allowed a hit and a walk. Hayden Romano finished off the win with 2 innings of 1-run ball. Monticello goes to 22-0 on the season. They host Pontiac Monday in Monticello in an Illini Prairie Conference showdown. Maroa-Forsyth snapped a brief 2-game losing streak with a convincing 14-1 win over Illini Central in Sangamo Conference baseball action Thursday in Forsyth. The Trojans broke open a 5-1 game with a 9-run 4th inning. Caden Maurer and Mitch Williams doubled and scored 2 runs for the Trojans, while Tate Brendenberg drove in 2 runs. Caden Rose and Connor Kelly had 2 RBIs apiece. Zane Giles and Andy Munjoy added RBIs. Munjoy finished 3 for 3. Brendenberg struck out 5 in 4 innings of 1-run ball for Maroa-Forsyth. Ace Giles finished off the 5-inning run rule win for the Trojans with a scoreless inning of relief with a strikeout. Maroa-Forsyth goes to 15-2 overall and 4-1 in the Sangamo. They will host Athens today. Monticello used a balanced offensive attack to roll past Paxton Buckley Lotus 16-0 in Illini Prairie Conference softball action from Paxton Thursday. Marissa Miller was 3 for 3 with an RBI and 3 runs scored to lead the Monticello offense. Zadie Walsh was 1 for 3 with a double and 2 RBIs. Cassidy Stoffel finished 3 for 3 with 2 doubles and drove in 2. Thea Key and Isabiri had scored 2 runs, or drove in 2 runs apiece, rather. Lucy Leatherwood, Lindsay Treebaum, Reese Patton, and Allie Widener added RBIs for the Lady Sages. Patton struck out 4 in 4 innings of shutout ball. The senior allowed a hit and a walk. Monticello has won 7 of its last 9 to move to 13-9 overall. They host Pontiac on Monday. The Chicago Cubs and Miami Marlins game was postponed yesterday because of rain in the forecast for Thursday night. It'll be made up as a part of a split doubleheader on Saturday at Wrigley Field. Chicago was back at home after a 5-4 road trip that included stops in San Diego, Seattle, and Arizona. Cody Bellinger homered to lead the Cubs to a 5-3 win over the Diamondbacks Wednesday in the rubber game of the 3-game set. Miami, meanwhile, is looking to dig out of a 4-15 start. They dropped 2 of 3 against San Francisco in its previous series. Chase Elliott pulled ahead and cleared Ross Chastain on the first lap of the second restart in overtime at Texas, ending a 42-race winless streak last week. The series returns to super speedway racing at Talladega on Sunday. Texas ended on the 16th caution after Elliott had taken the white flag for the 276th lap in a race scheduled for 267. The caution flag flew after William Byron bumped second place Ross Chastain. Byron finished third while Chastain finished 32nd. Elliott's win was his first since Talladega 2022. It was also the 5th win for the season for Hendrick Motorsports and the 306th for the winningest team in NASCAR. Brad Keselowski was second and has now gone 107 races since his last win at Talladega in April 2021. Denny Hamlin kept alive his streak of being the only driver to lead laps in all 9 races. He was battling Elliott for the lead with 2 laps left in regulation before sliding backwards into the wall, forcing the extra racing. Kyle Busch won after starting 17th last spring at Talladega. Practice and qualifying for the Cup Series is 9:30 Saturday morning. Race time is 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon. In the Xfinity Series, I should say, Sam Mayer made a last lap pass and held on to beat Ryan Sieg in a photo finish at Texas by .002 seconds, matching the second closest finish in series history. The Xfinity racers will be at Talladega Superspeedway this weekend. Texas was Mayer's 5th in the series and first win this year. Sieg was bidding for his first victory in 342 career starts for the RSS Racing team owned by his family. Riverton native Justin Allgaier finished third. After leading 117 of the race's 200 laps, it was Allgaier's 266th career top 10 finish in 446 starts in the series, matching Kyle Busch's record. Chandler Smith remains the points leader by 19 over Cole Custer and 33 over Austin Hill. Jeb Burton won after starting 8th last spring at Talladega. Practice and qualifying is this afternoon at 4:30, and race time is 3 o'clock on Saturday. The Craftsman Truck Series is off until Saturday, May 4th, when they return to racing at Kansas. Get sports anytime from your computer or mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com.
This is staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with your regional radio forecast. Cloudy skies expected today with daytime highs approaching 57. Northwesterly winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Mainly clear skies. Tonight, lows dip down to about 38. Daytime highs approaching 53. Tomorrow, mainly sunny skies.